So you can see here just an export from Google Analytics. This is actually a custom report that we pulled, which is just the default channel grouping, month of the year, sessions, transactions, and revenue. I actually have gone through and just tweaked the data slightly just to clean it up a little bit, but that's all part of the course. So looking at this, you can see that we have everything kind of laid out in a single table, but what we want to see is we want to be able to compare the actual channel activity based on the actual month in the channel. So what I can do is I've already got it prepared in the other tab, but I can take you through a live example of this.
Cool. Cheers, mate.
So we'll just create a new sheet here. First thing first, we want to copy over our month. So just copy that raw data, date, and just remove your duplicates. Then custom sort, and then we'll grab all of our different channel groupings and do the same. So remove duplicates, transpose that across. So if we go in equals SUMIFS, you can see here the first one here is the SumRange. So in this case, we're going to be looking at revenue, but you can do this for anything. So we'll go revenue is column E from raw tab. And what we're going to do there is we're going to lock that down by hitting F4. You can see at the in the formula bar, it's now adding the dollar signs in front of the E, which means it's locking down that cell reference. This is very important if you're going to be copying your formula across different columns, because we always want to be looking at the revenue column in this case. So we drop a comma in there, which then moves us onto the criteria range 1. In this case, we're going to be looking at the date range. So again, we lock that down using F4, throw a comma in there, jump into our sheet 2, and we want to be referencing this one here. Now what I do is I'll just remove the sheet 2 reference. So we've just got B2 in there, and I'm going to drop a dollar sign in there. Now you'll notice that I'm only putting a dollar sign in front of the B and not the 3, because we want to be able to paste this down the column and have it refer to the corresponding date. So in this case, it's referring to January 2019, but when we paste it to the one below, we want it to be referring to February 2019. So after that, we throw another comma in there, and now we're on to criteria range 2. In this case, it is the channel grouping. So again, select that, lock that down with an F4, and then we jump into what the actual criteria or what we're looking for is, and that's going to be this one here, in this case referral. Now what we'll do, just remove that sheet 2 reference just for the sake of cleanliness, and in this case what we're going to do is we're going to be putting the dollar sign in front of the 2, because we're going to be referring to that specific row rather than the column. So that way when we paste this across, at the moment we're looking at referral, but when we paste it to the right, we'll be looking at email, then direct, then what have you. One of the really powerful things about SumIFS is you can, if you've got all your cell references locked down correctly, you can essentially just write the formula once and then copy it across, and it will be all correct and scalable. So let's close that off with a closing bracket, hit enter, and then if we have done this correctly, we should be able to copy this down and copy that across. And there you have it. That's the entire year worth of data broken out by the different channels. And then you can use that to graph out and do however you like I've done here already. And that gives you a much more visual representation of the data than the raw export from Google Analytics.
Great. So you basically took a data dump from Google Analytics, which isn't in any kind of particular order, applied this SUMIFS formula, and very quickly and easily, using that formula, displayed the data all broken down, which can then be graphed and form a much more insightful report.
Exactly.
Cool. Can we look at one more example?
Sure.
Great.
I'll just shift to a different share. Cool. Now in this case, we've got ad data exported from Google Ads. Now I've hidden a bunch of the irrelevant columns just because this is client data. But looking at just the raw data itself, we want to see what the difference is. We know that during this time period we ran a 10% off promo, but we also ran that alongside our BAU ads. So we wanted to see whether, which had the better performance. Now, a quick note here, what I have done in addition to hiding the data is I've also gone to the bottom and I've removed all of the totals rows from the bottom there, just because we don't want to accidentally count that in our overall data. So again, we'll grab, in this case, what we want to do is we want to just grab the different columns that we've got here, and we'll just label these as promo and BAU. So we'll start off our SUMIFS, and first thing we get is our SumRange, which is clicks. Now, what we're looking at, because we're only looking at the one column, in this case, we know that the particular promo message was in headline 2 across the board. We take that as our criteria range. We lock that down with an F4. Now, you'll note that I didn't lock down the column reference for the SumRange with an F4 because we want to be able to copy that across and look at clicks, impressions, what have you. So now that that's in there and we've locked down the headline 2 criteria range, we want to look for a specific string or a substring. So we open up our quotation marks, and because we're looking at a substring, in which case it can appear anywhere within the actual headline, we're going to throw a asterisk in there, which is a wildcard, which basically means any number of any character. Then we've got 10% off, which was our promo messaging. We'll drop another wildcard at the end there, close off those quotation marks, close off the formula, and hit enter. And so that is the amount of clicks that was driven by that particular ad type.
Cool.
Now, if we were to look at BAU, which is everything that's not a promo, we can literally just copy the formula down and make one change. That change is at the beginning of the string that we're looking at as our criteria, we'll drop a not equals to. In this case, it's less than greater than. That's the way that the syntax for that is. And basically, that is going to be the inverse of that. So we'll have everything that has 10% off in it and everything that doesn't have 10% off in it.
Yeah.
And because we've now locked down the criteria range of the headline 2, but we haven't locked down the sum range of clicks in this case, we can now copy, paste that across. Obviously, we're skipping over click-through rate, cost per click, because those are calculated metrics, cost and conversions, and then we can drop in our click-through rate formula. So CPC formula, using an if error just out of habit. Cost per conversion formula. And our conversion rate formula. So as you can see here, we've now got all that data there, knocked it out pretty easily. Another way we can do this is if you have your ads labeled, which you definitely should, you can then also apply that to the ad label, just in case you have different structures of ads where, the promo messaging might appear in headline 2 or in the body copy or something like that. But in this case, because it appeared in headline 2 across the board, we were able to just do that quickly. And as you can see, better performance from the BAU ads than we did from the promo ads, which is rather interesting and not something you'd expect. So having this sort of a quick and easy way of getting that data all sorted can give you that sort of insights relatively quickly.
Great, thanks for that, Mick. In space of a couple of minutes, you've managed to use SUMIFS to extract some meaningful insights from data export, essentially, from a platform. So, yeah, pretty useful stuff. So, anything else just before we kind of wrap this up?
Yeah, I mean, SUMIFS is just definitely one of those formulas where if you're able to kind of really nail it down, it can be a great tool for, getting that sort of insights quickly and easily. And it's really kind of limitless in the way you can kind of apply it as well. You can do it across all sorts of different use cases.
Great. Okay, thanks for that. And let's wrap this one up here.